The Witch of King George Park. Yo, crew, if you enjoy true paranormal encounters, forgotten mysteries, and strange moments that refuse to fade with time, subscribe, be part of the crew on the Phantom Tide. Throw us a line below in the comments. We read every message that finds its way aboard. And if you wish to help keep Ghost Boat afloat, donation and support links are in the About section. Tonight's story is true. The year was 1977. The machine beneath us was a 1975 white Road Runner. Long hood, heavy doors, and enough engine beneath us steel to make young men believe they were immortal. There were 3 of us inside the Road Runner. Dave sat behind the wheel. Mike rode shotgun, and I sat in the back seat on the passenger side looking out across the open park fields of King George Park in Richmond, British Columbia. It was peaceful. Baseball diamonds, soccer fields, fresh-cut grass moving softly in the breeze. We were waiting for a friend who owned a 1969 Mustang. The plan was simple: 2 souped-up muscle cars, a beautiful summer afternoon, and a night of cruising the streets together once he arrived. Nothing unusual, nothing threatening, just young men talking cars and enjoying the day. Then something impossible happened. I glanced out the back passenger window, and sitting cross-legged in the grass was a young blonde woman dressed entirely in black. A pointed witch's hat rested upon her head. She had not walked there. She had not approached from across the field. One moment the grass was empty, the next moment she was simply there. She sat calmly in the sunlight with a massive black book resting lovely in her lap. I remember feeling completely stunned. Not frightened, not yet, just mesmerized. And young enough to think, you have to at least talk to her. So I gathered my courage, rolled down the rear passenger window and leaned slightly forward. "Hi," I said. She smiled warmly back at me. "Hi." Her voice was soft. "Oh." I asked her, "What's a lovely thing like yourself doing sitting all alone out here?" She gently lifted the black book in her hands and answered, "Studying my book and waiting for my boyfriend." The moment she said boyfriend, my heart sank a little. But at that age, young men sometimes convince themselves that beautiful women invent boyfriends simply to stay cautious around strangers. So I pushed my luck. "Oh yeah?" I asked. "What's your boyfriend's name?" She looked directly at me, and with complete seriousness, she answered, "Coronet Herman." Even now, nearly half a century later, I still remember that name, because who forgets a name like Coronet Herman? I leaned forward between the bucket seats and looked at Dave and Mike. "Did you hear that?" I asked them. "Coronet Herman?" The boys were just as shocked as I was. One of them laughed nervously and whispered, "Ask her where he's from." So I turned back toward the window, and she was gone. Gone. No footsteps, no movement across the field, no figure walking away, nothing. King George Park was surrounded by enormous open grass fields. If she had run, we would have seen her. If she had hidden, we would have noticed. But there was no sign of her anywhere, only a faint outline in the grass where she had been sitting. 3 witnesses, one impossible encounter, and one name still echoing through memory after nearly 50 years. Coronet Herman. What remained with us was not only the disappearance, it was the name. A name so unusual, so specific that it survived in memory for decades. 3 young men heard it. three young men witnessed the same impossible event unfold. And to this day, none of us have ever discovered who or what Coronet Herman was supposed to mean. Was it truly the name of a boyfriend? Or was it something else entirely? A code word? A title? Part of a ritual? Part of a spell? And it was a young woman in black sitting alone in the grass with a massive book of witchcraft on a summer afternoon, only to vanish without a trace moments later. Was she practicing something? Waiting for someone? Or watching us for reasons we never understood? If there are any witches, occult researchers, historians, or students of the strange listening tonight, have you ever heard the name Coronet Herman before? Does the phrase carry meaning in occult circles? Could it be connected to ceremonial magic, folklore, or something older? Or perhaps someone out there recognizes the description itself. A blonde young woman in black, a witch's hat, a giant black book. King George Park, Richmond, British Columbia, summer of 1977. What do you think happened that day? Throw us a line below. Because sometimes the strangest part of a mystery is not the disappearance. It is the detail that refuses to disappear from memory. And this one never did. Friday Night Frights, aboard the Phantom Tide. The tilted wake, fall and shout. Captain Jordan and his crew of ghosts over and out.